Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Coffee with the Commish. Had a good night yesterday. 1 assist shy of a sweep to start off this last little home stretch of the NBA regular season. Just want to say thank you to everybody tuning in. Over 400 views yesterday. First time we hit that milestone. So hopefully we'll just be able to continue to keep growing and keep elevating the channel. But we're not going to waste any time. We'll just jump right into today's slate. I will share my screen. Can see we got 8 games on the docket for Friday evening. First spot we're going to go to Phoenix, and we're going to target Chris Paul over 9.5 assists. This is another great example of, if you just look at the overall hit chart for the season, there's nothing really appealing standing out here. Chris Paul under 50% at this number for the season. Even if you throw on the home filter, still under 50%. Nothing really too appealing. But if you look at what he's been doing as of late, since January 22nd, averaging 10.5 assists, 17.8 potential assists across the span of his last 13 games played. Again, you can get this if you look over at NBA Advanced Stats. All you have to do is go to the potential assists, go to the Phoenix Suns, and then you can put on whatever dates that you want here. So if we go back to January 22nd, get the stats, we can see right there, Chris Paul, far and away the team's leading facilitator, more than double the next best guy when it comes to potential assists in this span. The other key thing we're looking at here, Chris Paul, since Devin Booker came back into action, first game, 12 assists with Booker back on February 7th. He had 9 assists, so got hooked at this number against the Pacers a few days later. And then the last 2 games before the All-Star break, he had 19 assists against the Kings, 11 assists against the Clippers. Very, very favorable matchup tonight for Chris Paul against an Oklahoma City team that has been allowing a ton of assists as of late. This is a spot we attacked with Clarkson yesterday, but if we take this back, we'll go back to January 17th, which is roughly the last 15 games for these teams. You can see that the Thunder are 24th in opponent assists per game in this span. So first spot we're taking a look at tonight, Chris Paul over 9.5 assists. It's a spot I like a lot. Second play we're going to go take a look at, we're going to go to this Brooklyn and Chicago game. We're going to target Nikola Vucevic. We can go over 11.5 rebounds here over at FanDuel, or you can get over 12.5 if you want to take off some juice here. I'm really fine at either number, but the 11.5 does have a little bit more value here, and we'll get into that in just a second. You can see that on the season, again, Vucevic, not the craziest hit rate, only 54% at this number, 11.5, but you could take it to his home filter, slightly higher, gets up to 59%. And if you look at what he's been doing as of late, take it to 11.5, 17 of his last 29 home games, last 10 games overall at the 11.5 number. He's been fantastic. Hasn't had fewer than 11 rebounds in any of these games in the span. From a matchup perspective, in this spot, what we're taking a look at is, since Brooklyn traded Kyrie Irving at the beginning of February, the Brooklyn Nets have just not been a very good rebounding team. So we can go and we can take a look at, okay, so when did Kyrie Irving last play? It was right at the beginning of February. February 1st, I believe, was his last game. So we'll take the filter on the advanced stats from February 2nd, and we can see rebound percentage in that span. The Brooklyn Nets are 24th. We'll go take a look at the opponent rebounds per game in that span. We'll go to February 2nd, so we'll get it post Kyrie Irving trade. And what we see is Brooklyn is 19th. So 24th in rebound percentage, 19th in opponent rebounds per game. And then we look at what Vucevic has been just doing on the glass as of late. In the month of February, averaging 13.2 rebounds per game, only 1 game with fewer than 11 boards in that span, even ended the month of January on a high note as well with a 13 rebound and 14 rebound performance. He did even play the Brooklyn Nets on February 9th, which is in this post Kyrie Irving, post Kevin Durant era for the Brooklyn Nets. In that game, Vucevic had 17 rebounds on 26 rebound chances in that contest. So already performed at a high level against this team once. This time around, he gets him at home. This is a spot I like a lot. Over 11.5 rebounds, you get over at FanDuel. If you want to take the over 12.5, wouldn't talk you off of that either. Another way to approach this is, if you split your investment, maybe put a half of your unit on Vucevic at over 11.5, and then another half a unit at over 12.5. You could stagger it a little bit just so you're not fully committed at 12.5, and you can still get away with just losing a little bit of juice if he does happen to land right on 12. Third spot we're going to take a look at tonight. This is, full disclosure, my arch nemesis when it comes to betting. It is Kyle Kuzma. We'll go to the Knicks and the Washington game here. The math in this spot makes just a ridiculous amount of sense. You can see his last 21 home games, he's gone over 6.5 18 times. I mean, it's just a ridiculous hit rate. His rebound chances go way up at home as well. He's hit it in 8 of his last 10 home games. You can see just 2 games with less than 7 rebounds in that span. If you look on the season, he's played the Knicks twice. Both of these games, Mitchell Robinson was in the lineup, and it does sound like Robinson is going to be in the lineup tonight. We have access to all the beat writers here in the Discord, and you can see that Fred Katz said Mitchell Robinson went through a full practice yesterday and felt good. Sounds like he's progressing to coming back tonight. So even though he's questionable on the official injury report tonight, I would expect Robinson to be on the floor. But still, Kuzma, that last game that he had against the Knicks, you can see the 13 rebounds. He had over 20 rebound chances in that game. He's performed well against the Knicks both times. You can go back and you can just look at the individual game logs for Kuzma as well. You can see that first game he had 40 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. And that second one he had 27, 13, and 7. So performed at a high level against them in both contests this season. Like him to go back here and get over 6.5. But again, full disclosure, Kyle Kuzma is my arch nemesis when it comes to betting. I don't know if I have ever won a prop on him. But again, the math makes sense. So we'll roll the dice here. So just to recap, everyone, Chris Paul over 9.5 assists over at DraftKings. Nikola Vucevic over 11.5 rebounds over at FanDuel. Kyle Kuzma over 6.5 rebounds over at DraftKings. Those are the 3 looks for tonight. I also just want to give a quick shout out to the Otterbein women's basketball team. They ended their season last night. They had a 1-point loss to Ohio Northern in their semifinals. Fantastic season. My sister's on the team, drove 2.5 hours last night to go watch her play in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, but could not be more proud of her and her accomplishments. She's graduating this May and will be moving on from her collegiate career, but very, very proud of the team. Anyone that watches college women's basketball or has a sister or a friend or anyone just knows that there's a ton of work and a ton of sacrifice that goes into that. So just want to give them a shout out and encourage everyone, if you don't watch women's sports, if you have an opportunity, like they're elite athletes. There's a lot of blood, sweat, tears that go into that. So just want to give them a quick shout out. But again, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate all the love, the views, and the subscribers keep going up. That's all we can ask for. And hopefully we'll stay hot. Profitable 20 of the last 28, 12 of the last 18 overall. And we'll just keep putting in the research and hopefully the results keep falling. All right. See you, everyone.